Jiya deliberately pretended to be dead. When her husband returned home, he was terrified to see her in that condition. He picked Jiya up in his arms and started crying bitterly. A short while later, her friend also arrived at the house. Seeing Jiya's condition, she too fell to the ground and began crying loudly. In reality, Jiya was doing all this to test her husband. Just then, her daughter touched Jiya's face with her finger and asked, "Mom, has Auntie really died?" Her friend angrily replied, "How many times have I told you? Don't call her Auntie, call her Mom." Then Jiya heard her friend saying to the girl, "She is the sole heir of the Wayne Group. I gave birth to you 7 years ago and switched you with her child, so I could take over all her wealth and property." Hearing this, Jiya was completely shattered. The girl whom she had loved more than her own life for 7 years was not her real daughter. She began wondering where her friend had sent her actual daughter, but then her friend suddenly slapped Jiya hard. In anger, she slapped her once again. After that, she fell into Jiya's husband's arms. The two of them began talking sweetly to each other. Now the entire truth was in front of Jiya. Deep inside, her anger started burning. Just then, the doorbell rang. Her mother-in-law and father-in-law came inside and started asking what had happened to Jiya. They said to their son, "You should have supported her in everything." But the very next moment, the mother-in-law shouted angrily, "We still haven't gotten the Van family's property. How can she die at a time like this?" The husband immediately said, "My daughter is still under her name." Hearing this, the mother-in-law became overjoyed. The husband said, "Now she is the only heir of that family." Smiling, the friend said, "We should continue this act so that her mother willingly transfers all the property to my daughter." At that very moment, Jiya's mother arrived at the house, but the guard told her that nobody was home. Then he said, "Your daughter died from an electric shock." The moment she heard this, her world fell apart. On the other side, Jiya's husband and his family quickly began preparing for the funeral. They started dreaming about their victory. They had absolutely no idea that Jiya was listening to every word they said. Now everyone had fallen in her eyes. When some of Jiya's friends arrived at the funeral, her husband deliberately started pretending to cry. Then her friend said, "We have grown up together since childhood. As her friend, I will take good care of her daughter." But at the same time, she leaned toward Jiya's ear and whispered, "After all, Nuan is my daughter, and your real daughter is probably wandering around in some worthless village." Hearing this, Jiya finally lost her patience. She immediately stood up and angrily grabbed her friend's hair. To watch part 2, send a red heart in the comments.